Hello, Facebook Live. It's Sonia from True Lite Guide, bringing your weekly angel messages. So this week we are in a period of time that, through my own report from last week, as well as some of the people that I follow, clearly have shown that there's a fast manifesting energy. And the most important or interesting thing that's been coming through my door, and I understand why now, is power struggles. So here's some truth bombs. When we're in fast manifesting, there's two types or main ways that people get their stuff done. You got those who use power, manipulation, and force others to take on responsibility for their feelings and their lives. Well, that's not the way we do things. Number two, main way is those who are internally reflective. They go to their own source. They feel powerful. They have faith in God and the universe, and they take action that's affirmative and respectful. The first group, who use power over others, they'll cross boundaries, they'll do many mean things. I mean, I've heard it from everything from the workplace to the home environments to disputes within relationships to, just disputes within families. It is unbelievable where we see people try to use power over others to get what they want. And it's all about what I'm not getting, and it's not about understanding you. It's all about you need to understand me, accept my bad behavior, and move on from there. That's not the way we do things. Group one deals from anger and fear. Group two, who goes to source, has faith and love. So ask yourself, where maybe do I try to use power over other situations and other people to get things done? And where am I doing it internally? Number two, ask your why. Why do I need to do things this way so that I can get, what's the real thing that I'm getting from this? Money gives us a sense of security. Maybe it's a sense of validation. What is it that I'm trying to get here? So here's some truth bombs here. No matter what happens in your life, it does not matter. You are never allowed to mistreat another human being. And don't allow others to mistreat you just because they've had a bad day or because something's happened in their life. Bad behavior is non-excusable. Number two, needs and responsibilities don't vanish because maybe you found something more important to deal with. No, a need still exists just because this is a manipulator. They'll always find something else. Now I'm sick. Now I'm unable to. Look at what happened to me in my life. Suddenly they're dumping responsibility. Again, power and flipping. Three, clean up your own mess. If you broke it, fix it. That's it. Number four, things do not repair themselves. Get in there, be active. Is this my responsibility to fix it? And if it's not, to those of you who are incredibly sensitive, notice, am I the problem? Is this my problem? Is for the empaths. Is this my problem? No. Am I the problem? Am I causing a problem with somebody else? No. Therefore, I should not absorb this, and I am not the solution. Therefore, hold space for what is needed. That could be love. In this case, probably some faith and feeling safe. And finally, if you can't let things go, it's probably because you're taking things very personal, meaning you're making it about you. And if you can't move past that and you can't accept it, it's probably because you do want it to be about you and it's not. So get it out of your selfish way. So I know that sounds incredibly harsh. I've been told that a lot of times, and that's fine. I know I snap my fingers, but the energies right now are really calling for direct, clear communication. It is not about tearing anyone down. It is about owning our power and our truth. And when we get to that zone and we stand up for ourselves and we put an intervention, quite literally, if you've ever seen the show, intervention to those who are using power and manipulation around others, instead of just sitting there, it's about people needing to band together and say no more. We're not going to allow negative behavior like this anymore, that you're going to take advantage of people in order to fulfill your own needs. So this is the energy that's been really called on this week. It's been something I've channeled a couple times, and it's kind of, one of those times where it's, sometimes we need to push back a little, and there's that sense of energy. Hold your own space, but don't, just let people walk over you. So let's get to the angel messages, because that's the other part of this message for this week. And for your love life, it's interesting. They say there's a lot of worry here. So this is where we said, if there's fear, there may be a power struggle happening in your relationship. Your worry is actually unnecessary, okay? You're looking at your relationship. I feel like a lot of people are taking their fears from elsewhere in life and putting it into their relationships, whether this be romantic or other. It says here, focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. What is the end result here that you're trying to gain? It's generally When it's a relationship, the end result is connection. Release yourself from feelings of regret, guilt, or worry to your angels. This really speaks very strongly to something else I'm going to add to this message, which is, are you speaking your partner's love language? Sometimes what happens is that when we feel like there needs to be repair in a relationship, we do what we need. We take it on as though, oh, I'm going to put more of what I need into the relationship. And that doesn't work. And if you're only focused on that and you only understand your own love language, you probably think that when your partner fulfills these things for you, that they feel fulfilled, because of course, this is our love language. Most people have an independent love language. Are you speaking your partner's love language? Right? And that when they do these things for you, understand it's not always because they love to do these things. They do it because that's what you need in your life. Don't give value, again, right? We're going back to that. Don't diminish the needs because they don't seem relevant to you or important to you. This is their need. You have no right to say whether it's valuable or not. It is their need and you need to respect it. So they come into, what else do you need to know? Well, they're actually asking who you need to be when you come to the relationship. They're calling on your romantic side, your dramatic side, your poetic and introspective, meaning internal search. So they say, this is about the committed romantic relationships in our life. So we're really shifting focus right now to where we need to take action in our romance. Being swept off our feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. Do you know what will ignite the passion in your partner? Do you know when you do this, they just feel taken care of, heard, validated, loved? What does your partner need in order to feel this in your life? So I'm going to jump over to something that I looked up just before I came on air. Seriously, I could fill an hour right now with how much is coming through channeling. So it says here, it's really about the love languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. So he says there's 5 main languages. I'm going to share them with you. You can look into it further if you feel like this is resonating and something you need to know. The first one is words of affirmation. This is saying, I love you. You're beautiful. I think you're amazing. Now remember, there's one main language. What's yours? And know your partner's. Number 2 is quality of time. This means undivided attention. This is really being eye contact physically there with a person. 3 is receiving gifts. It's not the value of the gift, it's the action, it's the giving. The 4th is acts of service. This is easing somebody's sense of responsibility. Maybe, I'll wash your dish for you, take out the garbage, whatever it is. And then the 5th one is physical touch, meaning there needs to be a physical intimacy in the relationship. So know your love language and know your partner's love language. So now on to our career. So interesting. You know where I said there needs to be intervention? They're calling on this because this card really speaks that it's about making bold and ambitious choices. Great progress is possible, but important relationships with people who share your vision. This is where I spoke of almost this sense of intervention against the, people who are being manipulative, power struggles. This is about the community. It can't be just one person against them and everyone else stays silent. This is really about, you're a supporter of this abuse if you stay silent and you don't speak up. And I know that can be incredibly difficult. So please, when it comes to these kind of things in your career, do your research and then move forward. Find out who supports you, what's going, you need some support right now. And that message is going out very strong. So I'm tripping over the words. I'm going to keep it simple there and move on to the secondary card, which supports what I just said. You need to, it says, take great pride in your excellent work, okay? So really see where you're doing things right, acknowledge what's going on, see the situation, but practice makes perfect. Consider getting additional education or training. Where I said, I'm not going to trip over my words here, but just get into action and look up what you need. They're verifying that with the secondary card. I hadn't seen that card yet because they're upside down till I show them to you. Finally, your personal growth. Okay, so let's see where this is going. What side of the scale are we on? The internal reflection? Are they speaking to the power struggle people? What's going on? And they come here and they say, okay, release the past. Many of the things that have happened, it doesn't matter what side of the struggle you're on. If you're, dealing with, your sense of need to control and be in power, or if you're dealing with, being, the peaceful warrior and finding that you've been really hurt by situations in the past. Whatever it is, you have to release the past so you can move forward. So we're really being called to heal. You'll grow from the situation. Time heals all wounds. And this is the resounding message that if you can't let it go, it's because you took it personal. You thought that the actions were because of you. Remember the empathy thing I said. Am I responsible to this? Did I cause this problem? Meaning that my actions, am I the problem? Am I really the problem? Or is this person responding out of their own fear, their own anger, their own resentments? Ask that question. It's probably not about you. And that's why it's hard, because it became they directed at you, like you were responsible for it, but you need to release the responsibility. So that's really the healing this week, where you feel responsible for the actions of somebody else. You're not finding resolution. They won't understand you. You're just not going to. You're going to have to just release it. And then the other side of that with the personal growth is they really say, look at yourself as the generous, inspirational, dramatic, but driven person you are. Tap into those energies. Keep your eyes on a bigger picture while you leave details to others. And it really says experience that leads to your success. Genuine concern for others. This is about release the guilt, release the sense of responsibility to the situation, and allow yourself to see, was it really about me? Did this fight really get inspired? Did they act upon me, or against me because of myself, my actions? Am I responsible? No, you're not. This is let it go, and just know that you are okay. I understand that there's a lot of people right now that are in a power struggle in their life, and that they don't really know how to handle or manage this. And that, yes, I have to admit, a lot of times it's not fair, but guess what? Life is not fair, so you got to let that part go too. So I hope for much more positive messages next week. Just know that if you're manifesting from the zone of internal reflection, that you stand up for your boundaries as you, manifesting the life of your dreams, that you also ask your whys, know the main reason why you want what you want. So till next week, ciao for now.